What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to go into two things. I wanted to go into, first of all, of course, I wanted to go into our recap for tonight, and I wanted to go into tomorrow's matchups. I don't have all of them, I just have our college matchups right now, but there's about 8 plays that I like. As far as tonight, nothing crazy. We had a good night. We did officially cross 100 units. That since I started here on December 27th after being shut down after 3 months, where we crossed 100 the first time. We were over 200 actually, got shut down, and now we're at 101 units. Now that's from the beginning, like I said, notwithstanding sequences tomorrow. We have actually closed 101, and that's net. I haven't updated the very recent night, but I think we're actually closer to 106 because we had a couple plus odds over the last 2 nights. But I always like to account for juice, our 3-leg losses, and sequences we have going. So yeah, if you want to see how we did 100 units in just about 2 months, watch any 3 videos in a row in the playlist, and you'll have a pretty good understanding as to how easy it is. Tonight, again, we had a good night just because we got the Magic leg 2, Hawks leg 2. We missed the Heat and Blue Jackets, but we got Thunder leg 3, which was the most important one, of course. The other ones we can close out at leg 3. We got the Wolves, which also came through. Grand Canyon came through. So we just did really good with leg 2s and 3s for the most part. We closed 7 more sequences, and these are just metric plays that I like. So, as you know, with college, there's nothing crazy about the picks. I take ones where the line looks suspicious, or I fade teams that are great against the spread. You know how it works. Or I take teams that are bad against it. So the first one here is South Carolina covers Georgia, and there's no line. There's no metric that makes me love the game. The reason I chose to make it a leg 2 is because they have a 16-14 Georgia going against 10-20 South Carolina, and it's an even line game. And I'm not saying that's always the case, but we just got it today. You saw we had Colorado State beating New Mexico, even though their records were not lining up with the line. So that's the reason I like South Carolina to cover. I think a lot of people are going to be on Georgia. I like Ohio State to cover Michigan State. That's a leg 1, just because I don't love it, but I think more people will be on Michigan State. This one I do like. Loyola Chicago, they're just a team that they haven't covered the spread at a great rate. And I know we're getting into, I don't even know when the official tournament starts. For all I know, it started already, this March Madness tournament. But they always seem to, I've noticed this, at least with Loyola, they're a very esteemed school. So they usually won't have a bad against the spread finishing record. I look back at the historic measures, and looking on paper, I think more people are going to have LaSalle. They just looked way more consistent this year. So I like the Loyola Chicago the most here to cover. So that's my leg 3 as far as college goes. Ohio State, like I said, leg 1. FIU, Rice, I like that under because Rice and FIU have gone over quite a bit. I think people will pound the over, so I like the under. Merrimack, Sacred Heart, I think people are going to pound the under, so I like the over. Notre Dame, I think more people are going to be on Clemson this game. Notre Dame did just have a nice cover, but outside of that, they've been pretty bad this year, so I think that's a good one. And then this one I'm playing a leg 2, and you can see, I stuck to my word. We're going to continue playing money line underdogs, and you can see LSU is a money line underdog against Florida. I don't know much at all about college basketball, as you know, I've gone over. But again, Vegas isn't going to pay out 600, plus 600. They are, but it's going to be very tough to find. So I tried to find one where it doesn't look too appealing, but it also looks like it's a possibility. Looking at both teams, I think it's definitely a possibility, but it's not ridiculously appealing because Florida is convincingly better still, I think. So this is one that I like. Of all the ones I looked through, I was thinking about going with Notre Dame as a money line, and then I decided I think LSU is the play. I don't know why, I just like that one. And then finally we have UAB Charlotte going under, and I'm going to make that a leg 2. So again, leg 2 just means leg 1 loss, like Kings did not cover the Clippers. We're going to plug it in. And that's as simple as that. So the only leg 3 we have here, as you can see, is going to be Loyola Chicago to cover. And then the rest, we have 8 plays in general, or in total. The rest are leg 1s and leg 2s. But we could get really good value here if my read is right and LSU does beat Florida. Almost 3-1 odds on a leg 2 would be almost 6 units. So I'm going to see how this works out. I don't want to get too crazy with it, but I thought it was a good line that a lot of people are probably going to be on Florida. Anything more than plus 400, and again, you have to get, they have it down to a science, like the lottery numbers. They know exactly what needs to hit, and that's why I try not to take too many crazy, 12-point underdogs. We would have been good with the Nets tonight. I even joked about it, about how Vegas probably wasn't going to pay that out, but that's all right. We live and we learn. But we did get them to cover, which was nice. But yeah, LSU, I think it's totally believable, and it's the one I'm going with. You don't have to go with me. It's just the one I'm taking as far as my risky one for the night, I guess. But the most important is Loyola Chicago, just because we want to close out our sequences. So again, kind of boring, I get it, but we're up over 100 units because of boring. And you can see, every one of these, every night I upload in live time, before, after, and then we go into our next day's picks. So you can see there's a ton of them in here. We're over thousands of plays. And again, I put them all out beforehand for a reason. So for the people tailing, congratulations. We've been doing really good. Of course, we've had, ups and downs like any investment. But the important thing is consistently we've just been going up and up. And I think we get to 200 even quicker than we got to 100. Just because you can start playing more games now and it just picking our spots better, and we can work with a little more. And with baseball coming up, as I said, we're going to get some really fun odds. So tomorrow I'll get the NBA and NHL picks out, but for now I want to get the college picks I like, being as the games start at noon. So take care, everybody, and happy earnings.